before you start making any decisions. Because as far as I know, Canada does not recognize legal separation. Is in America, you hear things like, we are legally separated. There's nothing like we are legally separated in Canada. As long as you are no longer living together, you are separated, but they don't really. You can do separation agreement for things like parenting and blah blah blah. Who gets to stay in the house? Who gets to move out? And stuff like that. But you have to talk to a lawyer. You can't even, like when I'm on support groups and they are talking about how things work in the US, it's a different country entirely with different systems. They use different lingo. So you can't assume that you know how the law works in Canada. You have to consult with a lawyer, ask specific questions. One of the questions I asked my lawyer is that if this guy runs to Nigeria, like he comes to visit the kids, and then he runs away with my children to Nigeria, is there any way I can get them back? He said no. Even though they are citizens here, exactly that way. Every state in the US is like a different country again. So when people make sweeping statements like, oh, in America, where in America? Where specifically? Because every state just does their own thing. There are some states in the US that they will say, oh, they have no fault divorce. There are some states that they don't do no fault divorce. That no fault means that Blossom, it's easy to get Nigerian passport from this. And Nigerian passport is what you need to enter Nigeria. You get? Even as you hide that Nigerian passport, that man can get another passport for them from Nigeria. And say their passport is lost or something. So, yeah, in the US, what they call no fault divorce is that the person, your spouse, does not need to do anything wrong for you to divorce them. You can divorce them with no questions asked. But not every state in the US does that. There are states where you have to prove that this person has done something terrible for them to let you. So it's different. US is an interesting place. So there are people that marry 14-year-old girls in the US and they are not people like, it's not considered criminal. It's not considered criminal. It just depends on the states. People marry children in some places in the US.
And you guys, there's something that I learned from secondary school that has stuck in my head till this day, right? That they said the law is an ass. It carries everybody along. So even when you look at somebody and you feel like the person is a criminal, the person has done this, like morally, any other way, you know that this person does not deserve anything good. He does not deserve to get custody of the children or anything. But also the law carries the person along. So if the person gets a good lawyer or a better lawyer than you, the person can still win their case. Yeah, sometimes it's not even about money. Sometimes it's not necessarily about money. But most times it is actually.
I don't even believe there's such a thing as winning. There's no winning. If you have children, nobody wins. You just hope to get the best you can get. It's not like a regular court case where they will say, oh, I sued this person, I win. For divorce courts, there are really no... That's my own opinion, Sha. There are no winners. That's why it's just better. Whatever you can do not to enter that kind of, just don't enter it.
I saw a video that one lady made today that I found really funny. She said, married women are poor, but they don't know because they hide under the shadow of the men that they married. And that's true. No, I'm just sharing random things.
What an abuser really wants is for you to be in their cage, in their jail, for as long as they want you there. The fact that you are living to them already is them losing.
Yeah, Joa, yeah. Lady B, that you don't even understand. I don't think you think men think the way women think. Men don't think the way women think. Men believe that you are their property. Have you ever seen somebody that their goats refused to come back home? That the goats went out in the morning and refused to come back home? Do you see how they drag the goats? If you grew up in the village, when it's evening and then all these shepherd boys go to find their animals and they drag them with that rope by the neck and they are dragging the goats back home with aggression and like move. That's how men view women. So women enter relationships believing that, oh, is love, is fun and games, until it's not.
See, this thing that Lady Bida said, that one is for people. When I tell someone this, they always laugh. They are trying to leave an abuser and they are saying things like, I just want this to be over.
Do you know, Ola, I want us to even Ola
from him.
Ola, I want us to even tone down the using the word an abuser. Do you get? Just say you're leaving a man, because it's like when you say abuser, a lot of women don't even think they are being abused. Do you understand? Somebody can tell you, oh, I'm just tired of the marriage. The man is such a great guy, but me, I'm just tired. You get? When you begin to speak extensively with her, you will realize that this lady has been abused for a very long time. So a lot of women don't even think they are being abused. So when you say an abuser, they're like, oh, they're definitely not talking about the one I married.
That's true.
You hear men come and they are like, they say things like they come online and they say things like, if you think you want to divorce me. Initially I was thinking, because when I make videos, right, it's when I came to TikTok that I saw a guy, like I saw men saying if a woman wants to divorce them, she should just leave the relationship. He's not going to pay any child support, he's not going to do anything. That is because she can take care of children, that's why she's divorcing him. So she should go with the children. And I thought it was just okay, just TikTok men, right? They are small boys that don't really have sense like that. You guys, last month I saw somebody say that to me. Somebody told me that in real life, and this is a man that is in his maybe late 40s, early 50s. I can understand men saying they don't want to pay child support to punish the woman. That is typical. That's what men can say. Yeah. But he actually told me, I was thinking it's just something that is just, I mean, TikTok men would just say things like that. If you're on YouTube, please help me like the live. If you're on YouTube, help me to like the live on YouTube. Thank you.
When a man can come on social media, he's so relieved that his son passed away, and he's so relieved he no longer has to pay child support. A person can come on social media to say that. Think of how many more men think like that, but they have this sense to come and say it on social media. Because for every man that comes on social media to come and say something outrageous, just know there are like thousands more who think like that.
To say thousands is like
So that man that said
millions.
that kind of thing now, that he's so glad that that man that said he's so glad that his son passed, and now he doesn't have to pay child support anymore. Do you think that when that child was being born, the man did not celebrate?
Women think men
Do you
like
think he did not
children in
celebrate
the
the
same
birth of the
manner
child?
that.
Like,
Okay, let me message this person.
I will go to church to pray for husband.
That's one thing I really don't even understand till this day. I don't understand women praying for a husband.
Who is Regina Daniels again? Is it that fair lady that married that old guy?
Hey, it motivates your mission to do what?
To do what exactly?
Tolulope, you're not late. Welcome.
Because if anybody thinks if you're on this life and you are someone that likes independence and likes to have your life such that nobody is sitting on your head, and you think that Regina lady is living that life.
What's this lady's name? This lady that married FFK, does she not motivate you? That's the problem, and this is part of the reason why I find some content on this line very on social media very dangerous, because it's easy to sell things to women, right? And women eat it up. A man that is able to have millions, to gather millions and billions, you think the person will just sit down and you come and take whatever you take? I saw the video, Tofumi. More than 11 people sent me that video. And they were tagging me to the man's video. Please, if you're on YouTube, help me like the live on YouTube. I guess should be around any moment, right? Amma, welcome.
thing that Timmy said about not even using the word abuser. See, I know men in real life that they are not abusive men, right? They are men who have
Yes,
been married
Mama.
for years. They don't maltreat their wives and children and all these things. But I'll be engaged in conversation with them, and they will say something that will make me think this person's brain is not very different from my ex-abuser, like the way they think. Is your pikin dey interrupt me like this. So wetin I dey talk? Once this girl enter my head, I don't even know wetin I dey do again. Yeah, so it's possible to be married to someone that is not this, even when you can say that, oh,
Eunice, hi.
This woman is
Welcome,
happily
Eunice.
married, their husband is not abusive. There are things that those women do to stay married. There are ways in which they cut themselves down for that man to be the good man that he is. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Like,
if she does not do that, he's not going to be different from other men that you know that are abusive.
Yeah. For a lot of women, the only thing they have to do for that man to go from being a great husband to being an abusive one is for that woman just to want to be herself. That's all she has to do. Exactly. Oh, that's all she has to do. And that great, wonderful husband will turn to an abusive husband. The woman does not have to do anything crazy. She just needs to try and just be herself. Just be like, just relax in that marriage and not squat or bend down. To stand up tall. That's all she has to do in that marriage, and things will quickly deteriorate. Lady B that is talking about a car. Me, I could not buy mattress without permission. You want to go and finance car? Me, I dey sleep for ground. Me and my children, we dey put blankets for ground, they sleep. I went to buy mattress, I enter trouble, say I buy mattress without permission.
Hey, go and climb tree. Look for tree that you climb for your network to be clear. Sorry, the person asked for 10 minutes. Because of time zone, he's in UK. So we agreed on 4. So I think their own time is 3. So I just notified him and he was like, oh no, there's a mistake with his timing. So he just needs 10 minutes. Blossom, you're asking Ola, Abi?
Yeah, you ate?
Ola, Blossom is asking, have you always been this outspoken? I think she has been.
Oh, yeah, I've always been, and I've always been that way as a little girl, and my sibling beat the crap out of me for years, and
I think he's
I was
here.
still outspoken, even despite. I was the kind of child that even though I had a fear of being beaten, a fear of being caned, I would still speak my mind, right? And they would cane me, and I would still speak my mind. But I think after a while, it just gets tiring. You start to quickly learn that the more you want your voice to be heard, the more you will suffer in this world. But I think I was still that way as a teenager until religion entered and told me that God wanted me to submit. I think that was a turning point for me. So I started to tone down that voice because I love God and I want God to be happy. So that's how I.
Lara, this is our guest speaker.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I was trying to get the message that what this our sister was saying. I don't know if I can have a cap of what she said, please.
Okay, no. Someone had asked a question as we were waiting for you to come, so we just were discussing other things. So somebody had asked her a question if she had always been outspoken, and that was what she was answering.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I'll be it.
All right.
So I don't know if I can share what the little I have to share, and then we can take some questions, and then have proper responses.
Hey, Mama. Oh, okay, yeah. Go outside and wait for me. I'll come and meet you. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, you can introduce yourself quickly, and then you share, then we'll answer questions. We'll ask questions, and then we'll.
It's all right. Thank you. My name is Olufensho Isaac. I'm a married man. By practice, I'm a lawyer. I'm also involved in other things as well, beyond the legal practice. I like, I'm a very active person, so I'm involved in property, I'm involved in business and many other stuff. By way of introduction, that's just the little to me. I'm a single person. I was privileged. I thank God for religion, but we must learn to strike a balance between religion and our personality, between religion and then our traits. The way we were built, the way God made us. I understand. Anyway, let me not just delve into that now. Let me just share my thoughts on the topic of today, as introduced by the host. I was asked to speak about
Don't come back here.
Women, about the proper way to handle relationship issues. Somebody's speaker is on. I don't know. There is an echo in the background.
Okay.
If I may say, I would say that the kind of background I have will have made me to be a young man that will be nasty. That will be a young person that will not be kind to people, not to even women in particular. But because of my father died before I was born, so I never had the privilege of being mentored by a father. My mom had to raise us, and then she was a young widow. Her husband died when she was barely 30, so it wasn't easy growing up. But I want to appreciate God, so to say, for the background, because we may not be able to determine our background. Obviously, we have a right to determine our foreground. We have a right to determine where we are going. So growing up wasn't so easy. There were nasty experiences and all that, but those things didn't really form me. I didn't allow them to shape me. And then neither allow myself to be prior into entering into a relationship because I needed some comfort. I needed some sort of a shoulder to lean on. Okay. that's a little bit of the background I have growing up as a young boy. I'm sure some of us that may have a similar understanding of where I'm coming from. You could have an impression of what, an understanding of what I went through as a young boy. There were days I had to cry. People will mock you that, where's your father? You see others, their parents will take care of them. Their father will buy things for them and all that. So, and my mom, young widow, she was always at home because yeah, she was so young, and seeing all of us, four of us together, it was not easy. I was in school when she lost her husband, so it wasn't a pleasant experience for her. But it's so good to give us our best in terms of care and all that. Now, why I had to delve into my background is so that because we understand that it's not that I'm speaking as somebody from a perfect home, a home that is complete, where I have my father, I have my mother. Things were really tough growing up also, but I thank God for the right people around, uncles and aunts and people who are there to provide proper guidance. Now, this is where I'm going. When it comes to relationship, I understand that some of us, because of what we went through in life, we are trying to, we are seeking acceptance. We are trying to look for someone that will just be there to wipe our tears. We are just looking for somebody that will be there, to provide the kind of shoulder to lean on. In most cases, we are not careful enough. Some of us we enter into wrong hands. Some of us we enter into a wrong relationship. Just barely 30 minutes ago, a woman was telling me about her experience. How she got into a wrong relationship, and then she told me the things that happened to her. Her experience was not pleasant, and then now she was telling me that she's trying to give love a chance again in her life. I tried to encourage her that somebody failed before does not mean you should not make effort and then get it right. So I know there are so many people, especially in the body of Christ in church. Some of us we are vulnerable because of what we have gone through before, especially those who have given birth before. Some maybe people like the way people say single mothers, somebody who gave birth maybe out of wedlock and all that. That things happen, to someone does not mean that we should not put ourselves together. We should not go seek to get the proper information. It do not mean that we should not be programmed to get it right the second time. Because I've seen people moving from one place to another. If I may digress a little, back then in the uni, I realized that most of our ladies, because we all in the name of acceptance, some of them will stay, their friends are into relationship, they want to enter into a relationship, and then you see some of them, they end up cohabiting with their friends, with their classmates. And then at times when you go to visit, you see young ladies, you don't see them, they're already like married women. They cook for the man, they wash his clothes, they do everything a married woman does for the husband, all in the name of love, all in the name of acceptance. At the end of the day, you just realize that some of those men, they're like users. I will still talk about men generally because the way men are wired. There are times that there are men that they just all they want the after is just satisfaction. They just want to express, I don't want to use the word sinful desire. There is a chemistry that is trying to find an expression. Their body is moved. They're just looking for how to discharge, and then a number of people just make themselves victims. I've seen a lot, and then we are still seeing, issues from time to time. We have seen people that they were just victims, just because the fact that somebody I know some of us we are given to religion, thank God for religion, but beyond religion, there is a place of moral uprightness, there is a place of integrity, there is a place of discipline, there is a place of self awareness or self consciousness. So we've seen people in our time, in our days, that they are yet to even have a self actualization. They don't even know who they are. Years back, one of the people I counseled back then told me that sir, I won't. That she said she was not ready for any relationship because she didn't really understand herself as at that time because of the things she was doing and the way she was reacting and relating with people. So, some of us we need to first and foremost understand ourselves before we even think of going into relationship. So, relationship is good, but if you have the right person in your life, that's when relationship will be sweet and pleasant. I've seen people with all manner of testimonies. I mean, good testimonies, as to how wonderful their spouses are and all that. And I've also seen the other side of life too. So, what may I know is that for you to be a good man, you must have worked on yourself. It takes a discipline to be a good man. I know, just as it takes a discipline also, even a little sacrifice to be a good woman. I understand also that marriage does not take away your rights per se, because that you are married to
Okay,
somebody does not
sorry,
mean
hold
you are
on,
not you
sir.
have
Let
lost
me
your identity.
address. I'm coming. Please, if anybody is being disrespectful in the comment section, I will block you. Because I'm seeing one guy, I don't know. Thank
What
you.
what is
You
he
can.
saying? Sorry.
I saw one guy's
What
comment.
did he say?
Don't worry.
What
I
did he
don't even
say?
want you to read
Yeah.
comments, right? Because people on live get.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry. Maybe I should say a little about my relationship life. I now like I said earlier, I talked a little briefly about my background. I at a point in my life, I saw people who are not happily married around. I saw what challenges some people were going through. So as a young man from age 17, I started becoming conscious of what I needed, the kind of a lady I wanted in my life. I was praying, and at the same time, I was reading books. And then there came a time that I got an inspiration that if I needed a kind of lady that would be humble, that would be caring, that would be selfless and sacrificial, what about me? I'm talking about me now. These are things I documented years back. As far back as like 1999, 2000, and thereabouts. So there were things I had to work on in my own life too, because I listed some attributes that I wanted in a lady over 21. So I was praying, and something now told me that